Hi, it's Mark and Jodie at Temple Space again.
We're back on the couch.
Back on the couch.
I'm going to share some words of wisdom with you today about what happens in our minds, really.
Yeah, what's in your mind today? Got anything?
Yeah, I think we should talk about feminine versus masculine. That'd be a good one.
Versus, as in the ring.
Yeah, where?
In the ring.
In the ring. Yeah, what ring?
Oh, that's a cue for those cats there. Yeah. Yeah. Feminine. Well, go on. You start and I'll catch up.
Okay, well, I think some things that are going on at the moment in the world of the self-aware, or woo-woo, or yeah, but self-aware is a good name for
Woo-woo TM.
Trademark.
We trademarked that word. Yeah.
Yeah, woo-woo.
But yeah, self-aware word.
Self-aware is the whole goddess complex that seems to be quite rife in the world of all people.
Goddesses.
Goddesses.
What is the goddess complex?
A thought process that we are more evolved
Than
each other, than other women for starters, and men definitely. We're totally far over. We're goddess.
In what way would you say the goddess feels she's more evolved than
So
the
to
god?
go to well, I don't think we think of you as gods. Perhaps that's more the issue there.
Failures.
We go to events that are for self-evolved women and we feel we're holding the space for ourselves, other goddesses, because the males are not able.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying that's not true.
No, I am saying
That is true. Okay.
We feel we're further along the path.
Yeah. And
there isn't the ability for males are not holding the space.
I do agree with that, but this made me think of something I saw the other day where there's a post going around Facebook again, where I can't remember who was defining what a conscious man should be, and the conscious, I don't even know what that means. I think most people are conscious because otherwise you're unconscious. But the picture was like a hot Jesus haircut, tattoos, rugged look, pretty good looking guy. That kind of was a bit of a chin scratcher because I just thought people posting that around are actually more into the hot dude. And so what does a conscious person look like? What does a conscious man look like? This was what I was thinking. Can they be fat? Can fat people be conscious?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it actually matters what you look like externally. And I think if anything, the picture of go back to the term goddess, the picture of what's being thrown around as a goddess, if you look at not just photographs of women, but that whole thing where shamanic pictures are posted, or pictures of Indian women, they're all gorgeous, they're all beautiful, they've all got long flowing hair.
Yeah, it's the aesthetic goddess, isn't it?
Yeah,
and God and conscious man. They've got to look good.
They do, they're perky, there's no cellulite, and they've got brown skin.
A lot of the gurus that are gurus are quite large, well-fed people. Yeah. Not that I'm getting all fattest about anything, but I just mean in terms of they're not necessarily beautiful. And people do recognise that when they're actually getting the real deal. Or what you might think would be the real deal.
Well, Buddha was fat.
Well, exactly. And shamans traditionally were quite large and got quite weighty. It was actually the size of your stomach was actually a symbol of your skill because people brought you food as a gift for healing them of their spiritual ills. So I think that's quite a common aspect.
The other goddess thing I was going to say is that I think that because a goddess that believes that she's higher, more evolved, better than those kind of things, there's also the thought process that
she has to be that.
She doesn't have issue. There's there's
goddesses are infallible. They're perfect beings. But
the reality of it is that we all have unresolved daddy issues or mummy issues. We do, and we also have princess syndrome.
Princess syndrome. That's a good And I think you're fed that when you're younger as
yeah,
well.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all do it. Like little kids, they're like into their little princesses and stuff. And I'm kind of like, yeah. I mean, I just bought 3 princess books for my little niece.
You did.
Which is a perfect example of feeding the little princess.
The princess, yeah. But we believe we're holding on for the white knight. We're holding on. We're waiting. People come through our lives, but it's like, well.
So should you take the rather dusty, dirty, overweight knights and just suck it up, or what's the deal there?
Well, what are we looking for?
Yeah.
You know, are we looking for this pedestal kind of guy that's going to rock in? And if he is the white knight, you know, he's really going to be very high maintenance, girls. Like, really, he's going to want to have his hair done and his, you know, this done and clipped and sorted, and he won't be able to get on his horse if it hasn't shiny. It probably won't be about you. It'll be about him. It will so be about him.
But it'll be really consciously about him.
Yeah. I recently purchased a book for a friend of mine who's going through some fairly difficult problems with their teenage daughter, and the book was called Coping with the Princess Bitch Face Syndrome, when young girls get past about 11 or 12 and turn into princess bitch faces.
What is a bitch face? Just that
age group
that
for young
face that stares at you and doesn't respond when you ask a simple question.
Yes, but it's about knowing when to deal with them when they're in that mode. So an example that was given in the book was the dad had walked in the door, the girl was watching a show on TV, he walked in the door and said hello to her and she totally ignored him. And
that's a teenage thing though, isn't it? Yeah,
it is, but he had expectation that she would answer him because he'd said hello. He'd walked in the door, he had his agenda, he had already, you know, I'm the man, I've come home from work, I've worked all day, here I am, I'm the dad, you need to acknowledge me, and she just totally ignored him. And then he went into the kitchen and had a meltdown at his wife about what a little cow his child was. And the person who wrote the book had said, you know, the reality of it is when kids are in that stage, you'd never interrupt them when they are in that, because it is, wait till she's finished, and if he did...
Wait till she's finished what?
Watching the show.
Oh.
Then say, hi, how you going?
Finished being a teenager.
Yeah, no, you've got a long time to wait. No, wait till
I think you do have to wait till they finish being a teenager. Yeah,
you do. But it's like, you know, if you talk to your husband and he's halfway through watching the car racing and say you need to empty the bin and you expect him to answer you politely, you're probably going to not like the answer that he gives you.
So what was the answer to Princess Bitch Face Syndrome? Just wait for it to finish?
Well, you wait, you don't expect them to interact with you or have any, when they're in what they're doing. It's, you leave.
But there's a certain sort of just past teenage person I know who probably been like that for about 4 months that I've known them. And I once saw them animated, and that was because there was a hot young gentleman there to be animated with. So what's that one?
That's Aloof drama.
Aloof drama.
That's a different one.
Aloof drama now, there's an interesting thing.
Yes.
I've noticed it mostly when I've had to meet new people in some setting where maybe you need to be a little bit more friendly with people you just don't even know, and the response is quite often that aloof drama. It's some sort of defence thing, I suppose, then, isn't it? What are you defending when you're expressing aloof drama-ness?
Well, I think it's the chase. It's that if you're aloof, someone will chase you, so then it will prove to you that you're important or that you matter. And so each time you've got to keep withdrawing and withdrawing and withdrawing. Yeah, and the
aloof dramatist. Communication is everything.
I would agree.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter if you're not very good at it. It's that you're putting the effort in.
Well, I think it's not even about not putting in the effort. I think we fear communicating because we fear the repercussions of if we actually say how we really feel.
Being, not doing. I woke up the other morning already said this. Take two. I woke up the other morning, strangely, and I was picturing myself as a hamster on a wheel, and it was the doing things, and leaving IT behind, as I gladly have, doesn't seem to quite rid me of the doing experience, the hamster wheel. And it's the feeling that you've got a massive to-do list, and I know I'm in trouble when I'm having to highlight colours in it.
Yeah.
And then it's descrabbling really fast, and with enough coffee it actually feels like you're actually doing something and achieving something and being productive, whatever it be. And yeah, it worries me because it's an addiction. I feel the addiction quality of it, because I can't stop when that list is really big, and I need to get on with it. And when I'm getting on with it, if I just get one thing off that list, I get a bit excited and it inspires me to get more. But when I stop and go, I've been doing this a long time, lists of to-dos, and what does stopping actually look like for you?
Stopping?
Yeah, being, not doing.
I don't really know.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were doing being it then.
I was having a moment.
It looked good. That was a good being.
My most recent kind of being situation was at the river in Brisbane, actually, when we were sitting there, and it had been 4 or 5 days of us being in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And it finally got to the point where I thought, oh, I've landed. But it took 5 days. It took 5 days of going through the motions and sitting next to the river. I think watching water really helps me to be. Yeah. Perhaps it's different for everybody.
So so it's a bodily experience.
Yeah, I felt relaxed.
Yeah, so not the head, but the body.
It was my body feeling, and it was very in my trunk.
But say we just stopped doing right now and just started being, would it make good TV? Let's give it a go.
Alright. I think you need to actually slump in your chair.
I think slumping is part of being, isn't it? When you're really being, because you need to kind of be down into your body. Yeah. I think smoking a massive reefer probably helps being, would you say? Well, that probably doesn't, does it? Probably helps being arrested. or being
well, not if you're in your own house.
A dribbly, incommunicative person.
Well, you'd laugh.
You can be arrested in your own house.
But why would you? Why would they bother?
Because you're smoking weed. You're ganja man. You're a menace to the nation.
We've noticed that at the temple space, a lot of people that have done sessions with, and we have the same issue ourselves of overdoing all the time. And
it's bags on my eyes, especially nurtured by the act of doing.
Yes.
A lot.
And not being, and the way that society seems to counteract it is actually to give you more things to do. So you go to yoga.
Well, more than just our society, I think it's our brain. We tell ourselves that we need to do more.
Yeah. Well, go to yoga, go to Pilates. It'll make you feel better. It's do.